And I want to ask y'all a question like off the script. And if y'all don't want to
Mm.
answer, that's fine. We can cut this or whatever. But I'm just genuinely curious. You know, me and Dustin, we do this show, and we have a lot of fans, but we also get some negative feedback.
Mm.
I've read several Apple podcasts that say I'm monotone, I'm boring, blah 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 blah. I just want to know from your guys' point of view, like if you look, just on, Facebook groups, YouTube videos, some of your movies get a lot of criticism, but a lot of
Hmm.
people love them. How do you guys handle the criticism? Like, oh, that sucks. It was stupid. I liked it. I had fun with it personally. How do you guys handle the criticism as filmmakers?
Yeah, I'd say there's particularly in Pooh One, it's a very Marmitey film, and we have a group of people who absolutely love it, but then we do have a big pool of people who just seem to love to hate it, and you kind of have to put up a bit of a wall, I'd say. Like I've done that a little bit from the first one, and I'm just like brushing it all off. Like we had all the bloody Razzie stuff happen recently as well, and I remember with that I was unsure about how to feel about it because I was like, on one hand, it's massive. Like they only have Hollywood level films, and the pool of directors in there are people like Michael Bay and all of these people. But on the other hand, it's like you are getting put up for some quite dubious awards, and the film was made on absolutely nothing. So it's very like, in terms of my career, like I'm actually still very early relative to where I hope it will be because I've only really been doing this for like 2 or 3 years, and I'm hoping people will see like a giant jump up in number two relative to one. So I was really like unsure about that, and I've kind of kept my distance from it a little bit, and I think that's the most like healthy approach with it, to be honest.
But I will say Reese has got such a thick skin, and it's something that I honestly strive to be like because we're very different. Like it actually affects me sometimes. Like sometimes there's only so much of this I can read, like because he gets death threats and stuff, and it goes
Wow.
above. I think like yeah, like honestly, it's disgusting. Like some of the stuff, it's not actually even funny. Like the stuff that he gets sent, it's really disgusting. But it's like with me, it's like I think it actually does affect me when I'm scrolling through the Twitter. And do you know what's really really like shocking to me is when you actually go anywhere near sites like Bloody Disgusting or something like that. It's the actual hate on those websites, not from the people that are running the websites, but the comments is so shocking because like the horror community is so great, but it's like when you actually go near these big horror websites, I actually cannot believe it. Like
Yeah, I think it's a shame. Like for us, is like yeah, I think you have to first of all, I think keeping your distance from all the negative stuff is
yeah,
like the most healthy thing you can do, and only stay in the areas where you've got like a positive community, and you've got like a good set of people. But yeah, it's very strange with filmmakers and certain horror people. There's a lot of people out there who have this like they just seem to have this like toxicness or this bitterness
yeah.
about them.
I didn't even know
Um,
this existed until we
yeah,
did this film.
yeah, and you start to realize that, and I think this is why like anyone when they get to a certain level of not that we're famous, but when you get to a certain level of fame, they all seem to like keep the distance from a
Yeah.
lot of this stuff, and they choose not to read like
Yeah, people say
elements
don't read
online.
reviews, but it's like it's so hard because you know how hard your team worked. Like as a producer, I know how hard you worked. I know how hard they all worked. So I want to read. I want to find the good stuff. I want to be the one that sends them the good stuff, so they don't have to read any of the negative stuff, because we don't have anyone that does this for us. Like I think it's really important to find someone if you can, who's not attached to whatever you're doing, whether it be a podcast or whatever it is you're doing, and let them kind of sieve out the nice comments because there will be great stuff out there that makes you feel much better and stuff. But obviously for these guys, I was the one that was doing that, and I was having to go through all this stuff to find the nice stuff, and
And
just difficult, isn't it?
and ultimately what you're doing with filmmaking is it's to entertain people. Like that's the end product, like that's the end goal with it. What people like, not all films are targeted to everyone in the world. Like that's why genres exist. People have different areas and different like subgenres and what they love. We're making this film for a certain pocket of people and a certain market, and evidently that market exists because the films are blowing up, and they have such a like attraction to it, and it's becoming so popular. It's because a lot of people genuinely do want to see it, if they're like, even if they're a bit popcorny, and it's a shame that just because that exists and because that pool of people want to see these films, you get a completely different set of people who aren't that interested in it start attacking and start like being negative and being toxic about it. It's like what they should do is they should just like appreciate it, step back, and then look for the films they like.
But it's so hard, honestly. It's so. I've been doing this for 11 years, and like that's the thing. At times, I'm like, I see people go, "Oh, they're in for it. What is it? A cash cow? What is it? A cash? You know that thing where we keep getting
Cash grab.
Yeah, cash grab. Yeah, thanks, Matt. It's like, oh, it's a cash grab. It's like it's really not. Like I've been doing this for 11 years. Like I was just trying to get my company on the map, which obviously I've been successful in doing. And then people going, oh, look, here they are with another one. It's like, but it just works. I do have projects that I have on my desktop right now that I would love to see the live day, but it's such a struggle because people don't go and watch that type of film. Like I've got an LGBT horror film set at a conversion camp, but the audience isn't there.
It's just the market, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just
like
the market.
Ultimately, the market. This is what they want. This is like evidently you announce Pooniverse. Look how bloody mad it goes. You announce an LGBT cult film, and no one cares. So it's like you have to do what is going to make help the kind of progression of the company to get to that sort of level.
And also anyone telling you've got monotone voice is talking rubbish. You have like the coolest voice. I'm not even joking.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
But yeah, just like just keep going. Like as long as you keep trying, you keep progressing and getting better at what you're doing, like eventually you will kind of get to where you want to be. Like that's the same with I'm sure that's the same with like podcasts, with filmmaking, with anything. Is not to just get like beaten down and then just give up.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Well, you guys certainly have some supporters in us. We had a lot of fun with the first film. We're looking forward to the subsequent films, and so we're rooting for you guys no matter what.
Oh,
awesome.
Thanks, guys.
Oh, thanks so much.
Thank you, guys.
But like you guys said, it's like no one goes to your job and like writes a review on you. It's like I think it's ridiculous. And if you don't like it, just don't watch it. Just move on with your day.
Exactly.
There's no need to. It's just people being miserable.